Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Let me take you to another round of quotes this week, where we come across legal developments all over the country. In this case, the Supreme Court has observed that it is the person in whose name the motor vehicle stands registered who would be treated as the owner of the vehicle for the purpose of the Motor Vehicles Act. The case arises out of an insurance claim made by one Surendra Kumar. The insurance company repudiated the claim on the ground that Surendra Kumar had already sold the said truck to said Ansari about 3 years ago. Here, Surendra filed a consumer complaint which was allowed by the district forum. The appeal filed by the insurance company was dismissed by the State Commission. Setting aside both these orders, the National Consumer Commission on the ground that when an owner of vehicle sells his vehicle and executes a sale letter without in any manner postponing passing of the title to the property in the vehicle, the ownership in the vehicle passes to the purchaser on the execution of the sale letter. In this case, the appeal arises out of Rajasthan High Court's judgment that set aside an order passed by a family court which converted the application for maintenance under Section 125 of CRPC into Section 3 of Muslim Women Act. The Supreme Court has given a split verdict on the issue whether a family court has the jurisdiction to entertain a petition for maintenance under Section 3 of the Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Divorce Act 1986. Justice R. Bhanumati opined that the family court has no jurisdiction, while Justice Indira Banerjee expressed a view that it has. Therefore, a larger bench will be constituted to decide the issue. The next case, wherein Supreme Court on Monday ruled that Section 63 of the Bombay Tenancy and Agricultural Land Act 1948 debars an agriculturist from parting with his agricultural land to a non-agriculturalist through a will. The three-judge bench, headed by Justice U. Lalit in the dismissing appeals against the impugned Gujarat High Court judgment, also held that Section 43 subsection 1 of the Tenancy Act restricts transfer of any land or interest purchased by the tenant under Sections 17b, 32, 32f, 32i, 320, 32u, 33 or 88e or sold to any person under Section 32p or 64 of Tenancy Act through the execution of a will by way of testamentary disposition. The court said that if a testamentary disposition which does not have the element of consideration is to be permitted, and if it is assumed that Section 43 and Section 63 of the Act do not get attracted, the land can be bequeathed to a total stranger and non-agriculturalist who may not cultivate the land himself, which in turn may then lead to engagement of somebody as a tenant on the land. In such a situation, the legislative intent to do away with the absentee landlordism and to protect the cultivating tenants and to establish direct relationship between the cultivator and the land would then be rendered obsolete. In this case, the issue before the apex court was whether a rent note signed by the tenant which required compulsory registration under Section 17 of the Registration Act 1908. The court noted that as per Section 17 of the Registration Act, leases of immovable property from year to year or for any term exceeding 1 year or reserving a yearly rent requires compulsory registration. The rent deed in question did not provide for any specific period for which the deed was executed. The Supreme Court has observed that merely because a rent deed contains a clause which binds the tenant to increase the rent by certain percentage each year, it cannot be read as to mean that the tenancy was for a period of more than 1 year. A Delhi-based advocate Udyan Sharma has moved the Supreme Court seeking intervention in the suo motu case registered over the management of COVID-19 situation to highlight complete apathy and disorganized state of affairs prevalent in the state of Delhi. Here, Sharma has stated that his entire family is suffering from deadly virus due to lack of any first aid and refusal of admission to any of the hospital. This case will be next taken up on Wednesday, that is 17 June. The Calcutta High Court has observed that the test for allowing or rejecting an amendment to existing grounds in an arbitration petition under Section 34 of the Arbitration and Conciliation Act is whether the proposed ground would be necessitate filing of a fresh application for setting aside of the award. The court was dealing with an application filed by a party seeking amendment of the grounds contained in an application under Section 34 of the Act. Justice Moushami Bhattacharya in this case discussed the legal issue whether the amendment can be comfortably fitted into the systematic arrangement of the tiers of challenge under Section 34 of the Act. In this case, the petitioner had approached the High Court seeking to be appointed as the guardian of her husband to protect his interest, administer bank accounts, investments, proprietorship, business, etc., and in the event of necessity to sell the immovable property standing in the name of her husband and to use the medical proceeds for his treatment and family welfare expenses. It was submitted that petitioner's husband had been in coma state for the past 1.5 years and doctor had advised that he would remain so until his eventual demise. The petitioner had thus sought to be appointed as her husband's guardian to be able to cover the expenses of his treatment and nursing care, and that too for her daughter's marriage. Allahabad High Court allowed the plea of wife to be appointed as the guardian of her husband lying in a vegetative state. The bench comprised by Justice Shashikant Gupta and Saurabh Syam observed that even though there is no law for appointment of guardians for a person in coma state, the court was obliged in its capacity as a parents' party to do justice to the petitioner. In this, the High Court of Kerala has held that passport authorities have no power to impose penalties under Section 12 of the Passport Act 1967 for violation of the provisions of the Act. Holding thus, a division bench comprising Chief Justice S. Manikumar and Justice Shahaji P. Chale set aside the penalty list framed under Section 12, prescribed in Schedule 3 of the Passport Rules 1980, as well as office memorandums granting table of penalties framed under Section 12. The bench noted that the power to impose punishment was conferred only on the magistrate. The power of the passport authority is only to launch prosecution. Fine as an alternative to imprisonment on finding guilty can only be imposed by the competent magistrate who adjudicates the issue on the basis of any complaint filed by the passport authority. In this case, the Guwahati High Court has granted divorce to a man on the ground that his wife compelled him to stay away from his stepmother. The bench comprising of Justice Ajay Lamba and Justice Soumitra Shekhia noted that under the Maintenance and Welfare of Parents and Citizens Act 2007, children, which includes the son, shall mandatorily be required to maintain parents, which includes stepmother and also senior citizens. While considering a matrimonial appeal filed by the husband whose divorce petition was dismissed by the District Court, the High Court noted that it has come in evidence that the stepmother has no personal source of income and that she is a senior citizen. The court also pursued an arrangement which was compelled to be executed at the behest of the wife prior to seeking pre-arrest bail by the husband and his family members. The condition was to live separately away from the family members of the husband and that none of the family members, including the stepmother of the husband, will be permitted to visit them. So this was it for the video. And do subscribe to my channel so that you never miss a video. Thank you.